Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm Bob Pompeani. We have a lot to talk about. Very seldom do you see a preseason game with the excitement, the drama, and the finish that we had last night at Heinz Field. And we're going to break it down in so many ways. And that, of course, is our #1 topic. Maybe the only topic on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown tonight. Here to do it is your panel. We have with us, far part of the screen, is Chris Adamski, who is a columnist and does a great job with the Tribune Review Sports. In the middle is Chris Mueller from the PM team, clad in the power purple today. Doc Ellis.
Oh, yeah, baby.
You're doing the LSD
Breaking out a new one
here.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, baby.
Okay.
It also doubles as a Los Angeles Lakers tribute for those of you so inclined.
And Jeff Hathhorn, who does just about everything at 93.7 The Fan. You never sleep. That's what I know about Jeff Hathhorn. So, gents, let's get right into it. And I'm going to start with just the overall assessment of these quarterbacks. I think most of us came into this thinking there'd be a separation. Somebody would jump up. Someone would take a step back. None of that happened, although I think Kenny Pickett may deserve some more reps. Jeff, how do you break down the quarterback situation? Is it tighter now than it was before that game?
Well, I first agree with Mike Tomlin in that they all did good things. And if you're a fan of one of them, you could pick out something from each one of them. Or if you wanted to break down one of them, you could point to something in that regard as well. I thought Pickett particularly looked good. You know, he had the second half. You don't know who he's playing against. You don't know who he's playing with. You have to guard it a little differently. But just from the energy in the stadium, it was pretty awesome when Kenny came in. And I don't know how many preseason games we've all been to. That was the coolest one of them all. I mean, it was chanting. It was people stayed. It was pretty cool.
That's the biggest thing you could take away.
They actually stayed. For you.
It was. It made normally a 6-3, 19 punt game that we get. Seemed very nice for a change, so we were happy about that.
But to answer the question, I thought Kenny Pickett does deserve some more second-team reps and maybe an opportunity at some point to at least get a sniff with the first team.
I think Mike Tomlin's kind of made the bet here. He said this is not a, this is not a competition. Mitch Trubisky's getting all the first-team reps, guys, so we know that's going to continue. My thing is Kenny Pickett knew those chants were happening. That's like it's weird. It's the preseason. It doesn't matter. But it's a big moment, and then he rose to the moment. I thought his mobility was well on display, and if I were going to boil everything down into one word, it was mobility. Now, everyone will know, my reputation, oh, here comes Mueller taking a shot at a future Hall of Famer and Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, maybe I am, but their offense did look different because guys could move around. Trubisky and Pickett specifically. Trubisky's touchdown to Olszewski is like such a nothing play. It's a 13-yard play, but seriously, think of all we knew Ben to be in his early days, moving around, and what he became late. It was nice to see guys like break in the pocket that the play wasn't dead if the pocket collapsed or even started to collapse.
And you could see Pickett in camp. You see that almost every day in camp. That's what he does best. That first throw, even he threw to Sternberger, I think, a little rollout to the right. On the move, he's the best thrower they have. And to show how much Mike Tomlin is into the mobile quarterback thing, they were joking around. Jeff, you might have been there doing the DB, the Oklahoma drill the other day. And he said, Mason, you want some of this? You want some of this? They were just kind of messing around. And Mason said, yeah, I do. No, you don't. He's like, you're not dual threat like Mitch is, okay? So he knows he's dual threat. He thinks Mitch is a dual threat quarterback. And, a couple of things. The chanting, think about the last time a game was played at, don't call it Heinz Field, there was chants for thank you, Ben, thank you, Ben. This time it was Kenny. So it's kind of cool how we had like a symmetry there, the two consecutive games. Poor Mason Rudolph, man. He's 100.1 quarterback rating,
passer rating.
He
threw the best pass of the day by far.
It was.
After he was booed.
It was the best pass of the day. But
and what a toe tap.
That's Pony's fault that he got booed, by the way, just so you know.
I thought that was ridiculous.
I did. I thought that was crap by the fans. I did. I thought that was a bad look.
You know what I did notice about the game last night was I think the offense looked like Matt Canada wants to with Trubisky and Pickett. And when Rudolph was in there, it looked more like last year with Ben Roethlisberger. And I think they were playing to Rudolph's strengths. And Rudolph's strengths are not getting out of the pocket. And we saw what that offense can do and what it may have to do because I still think there's some issues with the O-line.
All right, so what happens next now? Do we see a change, Chris, in what happens with the reps this week at practice? Do we see a change perhaps next Saturday night in Jacksonville? In other words, maybe Kenny Pickett comes in second or maybe he starts. Would that be out of the realm of possibility?
I still think I counted 23 practices, OTAs, minicamp, training camp, and a game. So 23 practices in a game. other than, I think, 3 snaps or 3 reps in like last Wednesday when Mason Rudolph did, Mitch Trubisky's been taking first-team reps throughout. This has been anything not even close to a competition in terms of how they duly at the reps. So I don't know why they would stop right now. Have they gone this far with it?
They would stop because Kenny Pickett showed maybe he deserves to get a chance with some better players.
Mitch Trubisky didn't show that he's vulnerable there because he looked sharp. He looked fully in command.
Yeah.
So I think it's just Kenny and Mason split the second-team reps here, but I think people are going to try to gin up a quarterback controversy when that would only be fair if Trubisky had gone out there and stunk up the joint for a quarter. Right. Kenny comes in and it's a lightning bolt energy. The incumbent guy did what he was supposed to do and in some ways looked the most poised of the bunch.
For me, given the competition, and I try to factor the performance in the competition they went against, it was Mitch probably slightly ahead of Kenny, and then Mason would be my third of how they played in that game, because Mason should have had a break.
Mason showed me a lot, though, after, it wasn't his fault. Dan Moore had somebody go right around him, and next thing you know, ball's on the ground, and then he came right back and responded.
That's the other thing. I know I might be putting the cart before the horse here. We might have this planned for later. George Pickens is unreal, dude.
Yeah,
that just watching it is absurd. I know it's a preseason game. Everyone, oh, Mueller, here you go.
On the field of St. Vincent, too, it's the same thing. It's
every day.
I
just
say
clowning
this all the time,
people.
Too. I've been telling. I learned early on covering football on a regular basis. Wide receivers kick ass in practices, right, Jeff? Yep. I mean, you go there every time you see a wide receiver, especially a tall wide receiver. They pop you all the time. Justin Hunter looked like Randy Moss in practice. I'm like, wow, this guy came
here. Even Lima Swede looked good in practice.
This guy's going to be a star. So I try to temper it. Like, don't do it. But you can't ignore it. Every day in practice, 3-4 times, you see George Pickens make a play.
And here's the difference with Pickens. A lot of those guys athletically would go up over a corner, and they make a couple plays, you go, wow. Pickens does it with combat catches. He does it going over the top. He does it with crisp routes. He does it with athletic ability. It's the whole package.
All 3 quarterbacks
Mike Tyson's a cornerback on a running play and just sends him into a grave, basically.
That was kind of cool, too.
The catch of his, the toe tap's obviously a great catch, Bob, but the one that jumped out to me because it was part of the scouting report on him, but it's the one that people don't pay as much attention to maybe. The one on the sideline where he just shrugged after it, oh, yeah, I've been here before. I think you said on the broadcast, he looks like a 5-year veteran.
He does.
He grabbed that ball with his hands, and it was just like it shows through, I don't know how to describe it without sounding ridiculous, but you could tell it was just in a vice, and he does that all the time. Yeah. That guy, I just can't help but get excited as a fan watching somebody who has that set of skills and appears to be that serious of a dude when he's out there on the field.
And all 3 quarterbacks look to him at St. Vincent. No matter he's on the field, they look to him first. It's obvious. You can tell that.
And he's got the respect of the defensive backs, too. You can tell.
They're allowing him to trash talk, even though he's not good at it.
Because they know
he's
good.
Yeah. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, there are some bad things that happened in that game, but there's some other good things as well. We'll do the bad first, and that would be inside linebacker. What is going to happen there? Who wins that job? Do they have to go outside and find someone to handle the job opposite Miles Jack? We'll get into that next right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.
#1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by #1 Cochran. Go one better.